the billion-dollar investment in houses. I want to touch on this because this is one of the big news, Shane Retty. You've come up with a pot of gold, $1 billion to help build new houses. Explain it to us. Is it enough too?
Sure. So that's just part of a pretty broad and deep package for housing. So every successful city in the world has got housing challenges. This is just a new tool in the armoury. If we look at the things that we're bringing to new houses that aren't even built, special housing areas, RMA reforms, national policy statements, then houses
Can't
that are
understand
there.
that. How deep is it? How many houses will it build?
Well, it depends. That's actually the test. How many houses can you build? Where will you build them? And when will you build them? If you can answer those questions in the 5 regions, you'll get some of that $1 billion infrastructure fund.
All right,
Just build them, you know, that's the big thing. This $1 billion fund. Last week there wasn't a crisis. This week there's a $1 billion crisis. And all they're going to do is build these roads, and then I think it's just another policy that's full of
That's a bit unfair,
cul-de-sacs
isn't
and
it?
dead
I mean,
ends.
the mayors around the regions are saying
They're
this is
happy.
quite good. They're happy.
What's
They're happy.
What's John Carter
They're
saying
happy.
up in the far north? He's not going to get a cent. No, I don't think it's going to make any difference whatsoever. It's if you bring all of their policies together, all the things that Shane tried to explain then, it hasn't worked. We've got a massive homeless crisis, so it's not working.
Okay, what do you reckon, Marama?
Well, let's clarify what the situation is. There is homelessness in regions where you've never had homelessness before. Now, in Gisborne, for example, you have 83 people on the Housing New Zealand waiting list. You have 60 empty, available Housing New Zealand homes. Why don't they go in there? I've asked the minister. They have
And what
a
did he
policy.
say? What did he say?
There's a policy. You have a 3-bedroom home, but you have a single person. So they don't put a single person in a 3-bedroom home. So here's my question. Are you going to build single-bedroom homes? Are you going to build double-bedroom homes? The answer is no. So
All right.
actually,
Well,
no,
you're part of the government.
hold on. Let me finish. I'll tell you what I did. So then the minister says, we're not going to build single-bedroom, double-bedroom homes. Said, well, have you told the people on the waiting list they're never getting a house? Because that makes no freaking sense at all. They have changed the policy. They're putting those families in the homes that are available now.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right. But this is back to basics. Before you build the homes, you've got to get the infrastructure right, the sewage, the roading, all that. Before you do that, that's where the $1 billion go. The mayors are happy.
The only policy that's worked is the mobile apartment policy.
What's that?
Up north, we call them cars.
What do you reckon about that? Cars of the new health, Shane?
No, that clearly doesn't work. I mean, a deep policy, well, look, the bright line test, all the other things. This is a new fund. It's $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
But
And as you said, mayors from across the country are saying,
it's not enough.
pick me.
$40 billion for Auckland alone. That's what we want.
But that doesn't include housing. There's at least $10 billion of that in the City Rail link.
policy is
You've got to
right.
just talk about housing.
Let's bring in New Zealand first. You're shaking your
Look,
head.
the focus has always been with this government on the main centres. What, for me, what's being overlooked are the regions. And where I come from, homeless is not only an issue, but the condition of the homes that people live in.
And there are homeless people there?
Of course.
And that's the
Up north in
policy
Kaitaia,
problem.
there's a need for 100 houses right now. 100 houses just in Kaitaia alone. Now, you know, that $1 billion isn't going to go anywhere near the far north.
All right,
It'll help to set up the infrastructure of the administration, the managers of the program, but there won't be anything left to actually do the job.
All right then, Peter, if you were in Parliament next year, what would you do?
What would I do?
What would you do?
I'll tell
That's
you
right,
what-
build houses.
Well, I'll tell you
used
what
to
we
do-
have done. What we have done is been able to get a small pool of money. We're not the dog. We are the tail. We can't command the whole of government. But the small pool of money that we have got is building papakainga developments up and down the regions in this country, including Kaitaia.
How many?
Including Kaitaia.
How many?
Well, how many?
How many?
9 in Kaitaia.
9 houses in Kaitaia
There's a
is
need
more
for
than
100.
0 that you get being in
No,
opposition.
there's a need for 100.
Wow. Around the panel, though, because people are watching this around the country and saying, look, I don't own my own home. I'd love to. It's a dream for me. Do you own your own home?
Yes.
What about you, Kelvin?
Yeah, but can I just say those 9 actually are the 9 houses in Kaitaia. Ricky Houghton did that on his own, and he's going to open his development next
through
Thursday.
TPK money that we fought for with this government every cent,
you own your own
every
home,
day.
Marama?
Yes, I do. I own my own home because I capitalised on my family benefit when I was 18 years old. I've had a mortgage since I was 18 years old. It was a bit of a Weet-Bix house. It had 3 bedrooms. We had 9 kids in it. My son slept on the floor for 2 2 years because basically there was no room left. But that's okay. The thing is, it became an asset. It meant that we belonged to the community. It meant that our children weren't transient, and all of those other people who had homes that way have done well
All right.
with their
What
families.
about you, Peter? You got your own home?
Yes, I own my own home.
So, Shane, what would you say to people watching this right now across the country go, you know what? I can't even own my home. What dream would you give them?
What a dream I give them is that by the end of this parliamentary term, we'll have built 85,000 new homes across New Zealand. That's the dream.
That's not bad, Calvin.
Oh, look, they need
That's not bad.
thousands upon thousands. The number that they're building in Auckland every year is about 6,000 less than is necessary. That's the reality.
All right. Hey, let's just get Ali Akram into the audience on this one.
I just thought I would head up a bit of an intergenerational duo here. Ma'am, what do you think that... Just no. Just no. Over here.
What are you asking me?
Well, I'm just asking what do you think the fix to this is?
We need more houses.
And how are we going to get them, do you think?
Oh, heaven knows. Not through the government, that's for certain.
Do you own your own home?
Yeah.
Do you think it was easier back in the day?
God, how old do you think I am? The grey hair's a bit...
42.
Thank you. You're very sweet. I don't know. Was it? I mean, when you consider salary...
How old do you think I am?
82. I don't know. Salaries, wages, houses, I don't know. I think probably what we got paid back then and what we get paid now, what a house was worth back then, I don't know.
These are some of my favourite things, sir. What do you think the fix to this one is?
Well, I'm a neutral public servant, so I couldn't possibly comment. But good luck getting an answer out of me.
That's the first I've ever met. And you in the same situation, sir? You're, kind of going to remain neutral on this one?
No, I think the government's doing a good job, and I think they're doing what's necessary. Sure, you can always build more houses, but you need the infrastructure first, and I think the $1 billion will do that.
Do you work for the National Party Research Unit, or...?
No comment. No comment.
When you look out into that future, does it involve owning your own house, and how soon do you think that's going to happen?
Look, my generation does face a problem where we might not be able to own our own homes as easily as the prior generation, but ideally I'd like to own my own home, yes.
Is it that realistic?
I mean, I guess it depends on the person, quite honestly, I think, yeah.
Back to you, Wallace.
There you go. I mean, look, what about that? I mean, people have kind of lost the will to live when it comes to owning their own home. Just around the panel, why don't you just 10 seconds look into the camera here and talk to the young people who are watching this tonight. What are you going to do about housing 2016? To the camera. Shane.
There'll be jobs for you. You will be able to afford houses.
All right.
Yeah,
Calvin.
We're going to build houses, 100,000 over 10 years.
We need to be able to capitalise on a family tax credit or a universal family benefit so that our young people can get into a home and pay mortgage instead of rent.
Okay. What about you, Peter?
Provide well-paid jobs so to allow you to be able to afford to build your own home.